Okay. Hey y'all, it's Betsy, and today, as you can see, I have no makeup on. We are not, okay, 1, 2, 3. Hey y'all, it's Betsy, and as you can see, I have no makeup on. Typically on Wednesdays, we do a keto update, but I've got way too many appointments and stuff today, so I need to get ready real quick. So I figured I would kind of go over just a quick and easy, everyday look. This is something that I do all the time, that is a look that if I'm wearing makeup and I'm off camera, this is kind of the go-to what I do. So the first thing I'm doing is just putting on some primer. Gonna put on some eyelid primer, because I always do my eyes first. Some people don't like to do that, but I like to do my eyes first, because then that way I always end up with clean lines. And I like clean lines because I don't wear a lot of eyeliner. I'm gonna use a Flutter palette by ColourPop. And I'm gonna go into this light shade right here, which is called Transcend, just to set my eyeshadow primer. Which still has orange on that eyeshadow brush, but it's okay. So, typically whenever it's a day like today, like I have some appointments up at the school and stuff like that, I don't want to go too hardcore with eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into this shade called Satin Wings, which is just a neutrally warm tone. And this is the more orangey palette out of the Butterfly collection. There were 3 that were released at Ulta, and then they had the cool tone one that was released at ColourPop, and then they have the gold one, which I did not buy the gold one. I have the other 4 though. So just blend that on the eyes real quick, and then I'm gonna deepen it up with the shade Crisscross. So just a simple, warm, neutral eye look. Nothing too heavy. Warm tones work well on my complexion, but you could easily do this same look with a cool tone palette if cool tones work better on your skin. But yeah, I mean, this is something I can throw together very easily. And then I think to add just a pop of color, I'm going to go into the color Chauffeur, which is like this orange duochrome, just to add a tiny bit of color, because I am typically not a completely and utterly just nude eyeshadow person. I like to have some type of color in my look. But see, it's almost like a duochrome of like a mustardy shade of gold and then the orange. So again, nothing super dramatic. This is a look that pretty much anybody could pull off, depending on tone. So I've got that done. So now I'm gonna apply my foundation, which I'm using the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour Hydrating Foundation. I love this foundation. And the shade that I am using in it is 2.12, which is a light skin tone with neutral undertone. And I didn't want anything super full coverage today, which is part of the reason why I chose this foundation. Plus, it is cold, and whenever it's cold, my skin definitely is drier than normal. Whenever I say cold, it's like 55 degrees outside. It was like 45 this morning when I got up, because it is around lunchtime, because I had other stuff to do before I could film today. Just take and blend that all over your skin. and I look tired today. So I'm going to use my absolute favorite concealer, which is the Maybelline Age Rewind in Neutralizer. This is like my holy grail, and what I'm going to do first is use that to cover up my acne marks. A little bit of highlight in the center of my face. And I don't know what it is about this concealer, but it lays the best under my eyes compared to so many others. And you can put so much more of it on without it looking cakey. Right now I know it looks a little crazy, but... So I'm just going to take and blend over my acne marks. It's getting close to that time of the month. And since the next Wednesday is Christmas Day, we won't be in town. So I'm probably going to pre-film, so there won't be a keto update for that. And maybe not for New Year's Day either. But if I don't get to them, I will do a big one. And maybe we might change those to once a month. I don't know. Because doing weekly, it's hard to see progress. If that makes sense. Like what happens week to week changes so quickly. And a month to month basis seems to be a little bit better. So now I'm going to just take and set my foundation. I'm using the Tarte Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation in medium neutral. This adds just a tiny bit more coverage. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. Which a lot of these products, if you look at least in my stuff that I'm using right now, I have actually used quite a bit of. I'm wanting to use more of my products instead of just having things sitting there wasting. And then tomorrow Cameron's got his program at school. Now being a parent, and y'all know this, for the week before Christmas, before they let out for Christmas break, is like the craziest time of the year. Or at least it is for me. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze Bronzer, which looks like this. And I have actually used quite a bit of that as well. And then the brush I'm using for that is the Morphe M500. If you're wanting a nice diffused bronze look and you're not wanting to like heavily contour, this is a great brush for that. Use it to slim down my double chins. But another thing I'm thinking about doing, and I don't know yet, I have the hardest time finding clothes for my body shape. So I've been considering taking and looking into starting a online boutique for ladies that are built like I am, which is much heavier up top, because I'm very top heavy, like big chested for my size. I have huge boobies. So, and that was the Melt Cosmetic Honey Thief blush, which is just a great neutral blush. I'm going to use the Melt Cosmetics Illumination highlight, which looks like this. It's got the pretty skull pattern in it, which is like a peachy pink highlight. So about like that. I mean, as you can see, I'm kind of just going through and doing my makeup look real quick because I got to film another part of a video for the main channel, and then I got appointments. Like my last appointment today is like at 6 o'clock, and then Cameron's got his play tomorrow at 9:15. I was supposed to bring Mary because she's getting shots in her back because she has degenerative disc disease, and she's trying that before surgery. But because they moved his play, Joe's gonna bring Mary so I can go to his program. You gotta love this time of year. Caden had senior pictures today, the cap and gown pictures up at the school. I don't know. It's crazy that my baby is graduating. You know, now that I'm fixing to have 2 that are gonna be through with high school, it's like I don't even know what to do with myself, because now it'll just be Cam after a few months, and we're going to do Disneyland and Universal in California, and also hit up VidCon, I think, for Caden's graduation. He is obsessed with YouTube, and I was like, well, that's actually a good thing for me, because they have lots of, like, if you go for the creator track, they have lots of training and stuff like that, because a lot of days I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, if that makes sense. You know, I just post what I want to post, and it's like throw it at a wall and see if it sticks like a spaghetti noodle. That's how I feel most of the time. So, browser on. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with my MAC Fix Plus. This is the matte finish one. Because I always like to set my face before I do lips and mascara. But this would also make a beautiful Christmas look too. And whenever you have problems with your skin, like my acne and stuff like that, that I'm having a breakout with right now, when you cake on a lot of makeup over it, it may look good on camera, but in person, it doesn't. So I typically like to go lighter on those days. And then I'm just using my sample of the Monsieur Big Lash by Lancome. Which I like this mascara. It's just this wand is pretty big to get to the tiny little lashes, like in the front and in the back. Those and the ones underneath. But even if your eye look isn't the cleanest, when you add on a coat of mascara, your eyes automatically look better. And when I wear more of those orangey tones, because I have an odd color hazel eye, it helps pull more blue on my eyes, because they're like blue and green and yellow. They're an odd color of hazel. So last but not least, we're gonna do lips. I'm gonna use my lip liner by BH Cosmetics. And that is much pinkier than what I thought it was. And then I'm going to use the Beast shade from the ColourPop Disney Designer Midnight Masquerade, which is just a beautiful nude. Which, even though my lip liner is a little bit cooler and pinker, that makes it match a little bit better. And I do like this Luxe Liquid lipstick form. I've only seen them do it though with the ColourPop Midnight Masquerade collection. So that's the finished look. Quick, easy, simple to do. It does not need to take you 5 hours every time you put on makeup to be able to leave the house. You know, a lot of days it's just quick and easy, and it's about finding brushes that work well for your eye shape and palettes that you can quickly throw together. Like I know that if I grab any of these ColourPop palettes, that I can throw a pretty quick and easy look together. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know what you think if you're interested in us doing a boutique. But I guess that's it. So I will see y'all on Friday. Bye.